Every day, a voice speaks to you before your family, before your friends, before your phone, before the world has a chance to tell you who you are. That voice has already begun. It tells you what you're capable of. It reminds you of your failures. It whispers your fears. It predicts your future. And the terrifying part is, you trust it, without question, without evidence, without ever asking. What if it's lying? Because the greatest deception you'll ever experience may not come from another person, it may come from your own mind. For centuries, philosophers searched for the greatest mystery in the universe. Some looked to the stars, others searched beneath the oceans. But one mystery has always been closer than we imagine: the human mind. A place where every dream begins, every fear is born, every decision is made, and every identity is created. Psychologists have spent more than a century trying to understand one simple question: why do people think the way they do? Because once you answer that question, you begin to understand why people live the lives they live. Some become fearless. Others spend their entire lives imprisoned by thoughts that were never true. Today, we're going to uncover why the voice inside your head is not always telling you the truth. And by the end of this documentary, you'll probably never listen to your thoughts the same way again. But before we continue, if you're fascinated by psychology, human behavior, and the hidden forces that shape our lives, subscribe to this channel. Every week we explore the science of the mind through cinematic documentaries designed to challenge your thinking and help you understand yourself on a deeper level. If you enjoy asking why people think the way they do, you're in the right place. Now, let's begin. Imagine a child standing in a classroom. The teacher asks a difficult question. The child slowly raises a hand. Another student laughs. The classroom joins in. The teacher moves on. The moment lasts less than 10 seconds. To everyone else, it is forgotten before lunch, but not to the child, years later. That same child becomes an adult who avoids speaking in meetings, who refuses opportunities, who believes, "I'm just not confident." The tragedy is that the adult thinks this belief is a personality trait. It isn't. It is a memory, repeated so many times that it became an identity. This is one of the most fascinating things psychology has ever discovered. Your brain doesn't simply remember experiences, it gives them meaning, and those meanings quietly shape the way you see yourself. But here's the question: if your mind can create beliefs, can it also create lies? The answer is yes. Not because your brain wants to hurt you, but because your brain has one primary mission: to keep you alive, not to make you happy, not to make you successful, not to help you achieve your dreams, simply to survive. Thousands of years ago, this kept our ancestors alive. A rustle in the grass could be a lion. Better to assume danger than take the risk. Better to be wrong and survive than be right and die. Your brain still operates with that ancient survival system. The problem is, most of us no longer face lions. We face interviews, relationships, businesses, dreams, public speaking, failure, rejection. Yet your brain reacts as though each one is life-threatening. And that's when the voice begins. Don't do it. You'll embarrass yourself. People will judge you. You'll fail again. The voice sounds convincing, not because it's wise, but because it's ancient. Here's what makes it dangerous. The more often you hear a thought, the more familiar it becomes, and the more familiar it becomes, the more true it feels. Not because it is true, because your brain mistakes familiarity for truth. Think about that for a moment. How many beliefs about yourself are actually facts, and how many are simply thoughts you've repeated for years? That question has changed lives, because the moment you separate yourself from your thoughts, you begin to reclaim your freedom. Imagine sitting beside a river. Leaves float gently across the surface. Now imagine every thought that enters your mind is placed on one of those leaves. I'm not smart enough. Another leaf. No one really likes me. Another leaf. I'll never succeed. Another leaf. Notice something remarkable. You're watching the leaves, you're not the leaves. In the same way, you are the observer of your thoughts. Not every thought deserves your belief, and perhaps not every voice deserves your trust. To be continued.